Greetings, Elder Blacklight. The spirit is another way of saying, in some cases, vibrations. Your thoughts are vibrations. You change your thought, you change your vibrations. You can attract what your vibrations attract. Different levels of vibrations or frequencies you tune into or attach to different vibrations. So I'm being led by the vibrations of Allah to take me to places and show you, using the devil's tools, the devil's technology, to show you how he tells on himself, because snakes eat snakes. There's always going to be a king cobra that eats all the little other snakes of the snake pit or the swamp. Now, I'm making these videos for my subs, my regular subs that's been with me for a long time, to give me that thumbs up. Because y'all brothers and sisters know what's going on. So we're going to continue part one, Snakes Eat Snakes. We're on the theme of the golden rule. He who has the gold rules. So we're going to pick up, because it's in the middle, and because there's some things you must know about why things are happening the way they are happening in today's times.
Yes, that's back several years.
Part of the business too? Was she involved in what you were doing over there?
No. Later on,
Yeah.
she got involved with this intelligence together,
Right.
but not in this honesty and Iran business.
Would you say she was an agent as well? Was she
Yes,
someone
yes.
working for Israeli intelligence?
Oh, definitely.
Military intelligence as well?
Yes.
And when that happens, because I have no idea how that world works, so I'm learning a little
It
bit.
happened by accident.
Do you get orders and you have to do certain things, or is it more like
No, you get projects. What really happened, my take on it and the later thing, is that these guys were seen as agents, and so they found a niche for themselves, blackmailing American and other political figures.
for the Israelis?
Yeah.
So it's hard for people to understand why Israel would want to get blackmail on an American. I'm asking a question that I can answer it quite properly, but for most people it's hard for them to think about Israel as being blackmailing their leaders in the United States. It's a very...
It was quite a MO.
En dan de Mossad en Clinton. Begin 97 ontdekt de FBI dat de Mossad een spion heeft in het Witte Huis. Iemand op een hoge positie met de codenaam Mega. De FBI begint een klopjacht, maar moet daarmee stoppen. De Mossad chanteert het Witte Huis.
So they set up an operation outside Monica's apartment, and they bugged it. And they picked up some 30 hours of phone sex between the president and Mr. Lewinsky.
30 hours?
About 30 hours, yeah. And those are all taken back to Tel Aviv, Mossad probably remains still top of the pile because it's never lost its war footing mentality. Mossad also has, in a sense, an easier role to play in a way because it says first, last, and always Israel, always. And anything that only affects Israel is what interests it primarily.
See, sleeping around is not a crime. Maybe embarrassing, but not a crime. But sleeping with underage girls is a crime.
I did receive money to go to these parties. After every party, I was paid by Mr. Epstein. There wasn't, out of all the girls that were there with me, most of them were 13, 14. I think the oldest one might have been 16, but just turned 16. And she'd been there for a while. He'd see me, he would say, "Oh man," he'd look at it, and it wasn't like "Oh, you remind me of my daughter." It was this sick, evil, like, "You remind me of my daughter. You are special. You remind me of my daughter."
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
And it was just this weird pleasure, sick smile. Like I don't even want to know what he was thinking about. I can imagine what he was thinking about.
Now, the pandemic could be like a stone, like you kill two and three, 4, 5 birds with one stone. You know, you would cover up 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 different situations with the coronavirus. What comes to mind is Epstein's death, mysterious death of Epstein, plus the mysterious way they was trying to cover up the assassination of Nipsey Hussle. But it goes deeper than that. It goes back to Michael Jackson, possibly Prince, Tupac. See, because that in The Godfather, the movie The Godfather with Marlon Brando, it shows where the mafia, the Italian mafia and the Jewish mafia worked together, and they had operations in the music business and in the entertainment business, you know, in boxing. They say the mafia no longer exists in boxing. Don't believe that. They ain't changed. They just might change their name, but their game is the same. They call it organized crime now instead of the mafia, or cartels instead of the mafia. Because, you know, Kennedy's old man was a Irish gangster. Talking about, you know, Kennedy the president. You know, he was a bootlegger, man. Like I told y'all before, man, when I was 16, 17, I was reading about Kennedy and his old man, you know, how he got the money up for his sons to be in the politics. He had to get a certain amount of cash together to be in the politics. It's even speculated that the mafia had Kennedy assassinated by some of the Secret Service men. See, now the rest of the average Caucasian don't be knowing, man. They don't be knowing what's going down. The average Caucasian don't know. When they go to movies, they don't look for that in the plot, in the theme of the movie. They don't look for, but it's always talking about a hitman or stealing dope or robbing banks, and You know, it's a level of violence even in the cartoons. In Mickey Mouse, even in Looney Tunes. It's a level of violence, man. And Walt Disney stuff. But y'all don't comprehend, even in your fairy tales, there's a level of violence. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, level of violence. There's always violence. Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. You know, the Three Pigs. There's always violence. There's always a message in those cartoons, in those movies, even in the Three Stooges. Look how much violence was in the Three Stooges. This is how you was raised. So I'll be careful calling myself an Israelite. We're going to get into that perhaps in the next video. But it ain't over. I'm not through. I'm just asking you, my subs, this is all for you. So stay with me. Black light.